some noise for Olivia Witt, everybody!
Hello, my name is Olivia Witt, and today I will be presenting on Catholic Patron Saints. Go ahead, Kenneth. Okay, cool. Alright, first of all, what the fuck is that? So first of all, I was raised Catholic. Catholicism can be summed up like, do you remember last summer when everyone was like cutting into those random objects and they were cake? Catholicism is cutting into bread and it's Jesus. So that's really the whole thing there. So patron saints, so the big thing there, you need someone to intervene on your behalf, you know, whether it be on behalf of your nation, on behalf of your work day, like the groups that you're in, the people that you are. You want someone to sort of intervene on behalf of those groups, those clans, potentially those clans with a K. So Catholicism is a pretty racist history. That's a whole separate presentation though. So yeah, it's really about who you know. What makes me an expert? I went to 9 years of Catholic school. I had to do a saint report every year on a patron saint, so I know at least 9 of them. Yeah, did I write anything? Oh yeah, Catholicism, all about false authority. I feel like I have enough, you know, just trauma about other shit to propel me forward in this field. All right. Famous patron saints. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about a patron saint. I'm going to talk about what they're the patron saint of. And then at the end of that, I'm going to say, all right, here's what I think they should be the patron saint of. Because there's some things that don't have, like, patron saints, but it is kind of a choose your own adventure here. Like, they're really fine if you just pick someone who has like a story similar to your kind of situation. They're like, yeah, that's totally cool. So yeah, let's keep going. All right, Saint Anthony. I would like to open this up with a prayer. We're all gonna pray. So there's like a longer prayer here that's like more polite, but the one I was taught is, I forgot to say, the main thing here is that St. Anthony is the patron saint of like the lost and found, of lost things. He's the person you're supposed to pray to when you lose something. That's integral to like the next 10 minutes. Okay. I'm so sorry. So yeah, everyone say it with me. Tony, Tony, look around. Something's lost and must be found. Yeah, I got blackout drunk 2 weeks ago and lost like 3 masks, so we all helped me. So, yeah, don't hit the next. No!
You weren't gonna yell.
Okay, so this is a statue of St. Anthony to my left here. Statues is an important thing here. So when you lose something, let's say you lose your credit card, right? So you lose your credit card, you're gonna wanna get out that St. Anthony statue and you're gonna wanna start bribing it, right? Because you wanna find your credit card. Things that the St. Anthony statue likes: white lilies, favorite flower. It's like associated with him. He likes bread, he likes water. Do not give him alcohol. Very important, he will get drunk and then not be able to look for your item. This is a real thing too. You're supposed to have like a table with offerings. You're supposed to put it in the living room. So that way there's like a lot of traffic. Because the important thing here, don't let him fall asleep. Oh my God, the mic stand has been in front of me this entire time. I'm so sorry. All right, so yeah, okay, so you want to keep him in a high trafficked area, keep the TV on at night, like he cannot fall asleep, he's got to be looking for your credit card, okay? So that's an important aspect here. He's looking for your credit card. Week 2, you still haven't found your credit card, it's time to start punishing that boy, okay? So you may have a little bit of bread and water out, just go ahead and dip your fingers in that water and flick it on his face. We're going to start out really gentle and then it's going to get progressively more aggressive, okay? So you'll see in this photo too, he's holding a statue of, that is the baby Jesus, okay? That baby Jesus, if you buy one of these St. Anthony statues, that baby Jesus is removable. Go ahead and get him out of there.
there. He doesn't deserve Jesus if your credit card has still been lost for a week and a half, okay? No Jesus for him, and that's his favorite thing. So you're gonna get Jesus out of there, still have found your credit card, turn that boy upside down, okay? St. Anthony statues, they're very easy to turn upside down. You're just going to prop him up against a wall, let all the blood rush to his head, maybe help him think. It is kind of a torture. You still haven't found him, just shove him in a drawer. If you do happen to find your credit card, though, make sure to thank him with prayer, and then, maybe put him in a room in your house that isn't so loud so you can get some rest for the next time you inevitably lose something. But then hit the next one. So my statue of St. Anthony really likes to be punished, so I still haven't found any of the masks that I lost 2 weeks ago, because he's into it. He loves it. Okay, next slide. I'm embarrassed. All right. So St. Anthony, I've talked a lot about him. Something that's kind of interesting about St. Anthony, outside of his lost and found thing, is that they preserved his tongue. His tongue is somewhere in Rome, heavily preserved. I don't know why they preserved his tongue, but I can only assume it's because he's also the patron saint of just munching box, right? Tony, eat that puss, find the clit, all that, good. All right, next thing I'm going to talk about is St. Joseph. So St. Joseph is Jesus' stepdad. I think we all are aware of him. Another thing, big statue wants us to believe in here. You're supposed to get a statue of St. Joseph, bury him in your yard if you're trying to sell your house, because he's the patron saint of homeowners. If you want to sell your house, you got to pray to St. Joseph. You got to buy one of these statues. You got to bury it near the for sale sign, upside down, facing your house. If it's not facing your house, your neighbor's house is going to sell. So, just be prepared for that. And if you own a condo, you're supposed to bury it in a pot, because I guess since you don't have a yard. But I just feel like it's very important, because if you do live in a place with a lawn, there probably is one of these buried, because there's no protocol for digging them back up once you sell the house. You just leave them there. So there's a ton of these buried everywhere, especially in Madison, where I feel like there's a lot of Catholics. There's a ton in the ground all over. Okay, there's a lot of them there. Okay, keep going. St. Lucy, my gal here. Okay, so St. Lucy is the patron saint of blindness and blind people. Big mood. Yes. No, stay there. We have a lot more to say about her. Okay, so there's a fun story about her, is that, she was, they wanted her to marry this pagan guy, but she didn't want to marry this pagan guy. And this is where the story gets kind of sketchy, depending on who you talk to it. There's one story that says, they tried to burn her at the stake, and she wouldn't burn because she was so holy. So they ended up beheading her with a sword, hence the thing in her neck. Or that they also gouged out her eyes as part of the torture because she wouldn't marry this pagan man. Hence why she's holding another set of eyes in her left hand there. There's also a story, though, that she just didn't want to marry this pagan man so bad that she gouged out her own eyes in order to appear more unattractive. So for her, I think I'm going to make her the patron saint of bad Tinder dates, as well as ass eating, because she really doesn't have to worry about the pink eye thing with the no eyes. All right, keep going. All right, so who would patron saint of high concept be? I thought a lot about this. I have two contenders that I'm going to go through. Go ahead. St. Genesius of Rome. St. Genesius of Rome is the patron saint of comedians. So St. Genesius' stories. What did you do?
We all did this.
Cool. All right. So St. Genesius' story is that the Emperor Diocletian, he was, hired, he was a theater kid, he was hired to do a play for them. He was like, I'm going to do a parody of Catholicism because we all fucking hate those guys, am I right? So he gets up there, he does this whole play, he kind of gets baptized as a bit. But what happens is that he ends up converting in the middle of the show to Catholicism and calls for a priest to come up to the stage and baptize him for real, and it's a really beautiful moment, but he fucking bombed, okay? So happy aspect of it. St. Teresa of Avila, I think really covers sort of the weed portion. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of research. I was like, oh, is there like a patron saint of marijuana? So St. Marian is the patron saint of the date of 420. But like, yeah, it's Hitler's birthday too. So, St. Teresa of Avila, however, her thing is that she had these like religious ecstasies, okay? Which basically means that God makes you come, I think. There's like, but then she also had these like visions of heaven and hell, and she'd go on sort of these long spiritual trips in her mind when she prayed. But also keep in mind though, St. Teresa's from like the 1500s, and like a lot of the stories I was reading about her, it's like she was like, I was out in the garden eating some mushrooms and herbs, and then I came inside and prayed, and then oh my God, and it's like, okay, you might have been high. She has these stories though that I think are great. That she used to levitate. That's like her big thing. Like she would raise off. She was so holy that she would raise off of the ground and like levitate just a few inches above the ground. But then also my favorite part about this is that she was embarrassed about doing that. She like would constantly ask her sisters and things to just hold her down to the ground. They like tied her to the bed at night because she would float up. And I also am embarrassed to be high. So I really relate to this. Keep going. This is one final picture of Teresa of Avila that I'm going to close with because I felt like, yeah, this bitch got high. And there's another story too of her, like God would give her orgasms because she was like really attractive and she became a nun. She was like, I felt like I missed out. So yeah, that's the woman who's like hot in the 1500s. And also I feel like this picture too, it's decorated like Samara's apartment, so she's gotta be super hot. All right, that's my presentation, everyone. Anyone have any questions? Did I have more? Did I just completely forget? I'm done, right?
Tell me. Nope.
Yeah, I'm done. All
Any
right.
any questions for Miss Olivia?
Yeah, you in the back.
Did you buy it when you were younger?
My parents paid a lot of money for me to believe this, so I feel like I kind of have to financially.
Do you find any of the saints particularly attractive?
There was one. There's a couple photos of like St. Francis of Assisi. I mean, really, Jesus is the hottie. Like, that's the thing is, they have this art of like Jesus with his 12 disciples, and it's like, what? You're not gonna make Judas the hot one, or even Simon. Like, what are you doing?
You the Catholic school stuff and then normal high school?
Yes, that's pivotal to my personality for sure. Yeah, that's how you end up doing this. Is you move from like the 20.
You rebel to the opposite.
The 20-person Catholic school where you know all those kids your entire life, and then you go to like a 3,000-person public school that everyone from your Catholic school was like, they're all the bad and tainted kids. But then you go there and take AP classes, and you're like, no one is cool here either. Yeah, feel free to call me out. I'm so open to changing. Like, you know, if you feel like you've had a problem with anything, I just want you to know I'm very sorry.
That is how you apologize, right there. Uncanceled.
Do you think that any religions are righter than this one?
No. Was that too quick? Okay, here's where I think Catholicism is correct. The majority of the world, like the largest religion is Christianity, right? But then within that, it's Catholicism. Like that's the biggest sect. Even though we're not supposed to say that it's a sect of Christianity, people who raised me would get very mad. Like teams of people would get mad that I said that. But it is like there's just a larger percentage of people who believe it. And it's also, I'm very much in a bubble where I only interact with people who were also raised this way. Back. Oh, man, there's so many. Just name a Catholic man. I don't know. Patron Saint asking actually, I'd probably have to say Thomas Aquinas. He always gets cited a lot by like dude bros because he like did a lot of scholarly work, so probably him.
Are there any patron saints that have like murdered someone?
There definitely was. I feel like I should know this. Oh, Claire, do you have something to add to that? At least Claire knows. This is gonna be embarrassing. so it's like a sin to kill someone, but then before, like the Crusades, like Joan of Arc killed a ton of people and she's a saint, you know? So it's like it's weird because they're like, don't kill anyone unless it's for a war and you're on the right side. Because that's like a thing, like priests will go to troops and be like, hey, just to let you guys know, if you kill anyone, totally fine. Like that's a thing that happens. That really put a depressing it should be though. If you kill someone, you can still go to heaven, is my point. Yeah.